Joining us now, DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin. Secretary, it's good to see you. What do you make of all this? We understand terrorists are to blame for the murders in Australia, but how did Obama and Biden's lenient policies play a role in these terror attacks like the one in Australia?
Well, Liz, thank you for having me. I don't think it can be overstated, the position, the danger that Joe Biden put the American people in, not just through his failed foreign policy, but his domestic policy right here at home, of course, letting in 20 million plus people illegally to enter this country, but also the legal immigration system, how it was corrupted, whether it be through asylum or through these parole programs where there was absolutely no vetting, no cybercrime, no criminal background checks, no financial crimes, no social media vetting. We saw with Operation Allies Welcome, the terrorist who just killed a member of our National Guard just 2 weeks ago wasn't allowed in under that program. Another ISIS-K member allowed in Virginia. There are scores more that the Trump administration, Secretary Noem, and our law enforcement agents are risking their lives every day to get out of this country. We know ICE alone, since January 20th, has arrested over 1,000 known or suspected terrorists that are in the interior of our country. Liz, we know it only takes one to kill Americans.
Yeah, that's right. So, it is shocking, and it's a dereliction of duty. Many lawmakers have told us that what the Biden administration did, they violated their oath, swearing to protect and defend America. So how does this terror trend trajectory change? Because look at George Washington University's program on extremism. Secretary, they found that more than half of the perpetrators of terror attacks in the West since 9/11 were on a watch list. So they were known, but they're out there doing this. And you're right, you're pointing out about no vetting under the Biden White House. But here's the issue. Terrorists are using democracies against citizens. That terrorists know that in Western democracies, individuals have a sacrosanct and constitutionally protected right to be radicals. And the most authorities could do is just monitor and try to catch them after the fact. But so why is there such a lack of imagination on the part of the Biden White House and Barack Obama? Because the lack of imagination was what drove 9/11.
Liz, you're absolutely right and very well said. I'll say the bad news is that we have a heck of a job to do in front of us as far as auditing hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of those who came into this country legally under the Biden administration. Thousands of asylum interviews and check-ins that were missed. Biometric data missing in the millions. We have to go back and do a true audit to make sure that those who entered our country were doing so that had the right intent and don't wish to bring harm to this country. But I will say, Liz, the good news is under President Trump and Secretary Noem, more than 2.1 million illegal aliens have left this country. They've either been removed or self-deported. That is great news because we know even more of the individuals who are actually in this country, and we will continue to remove even more.
DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's great to have you back on the show.